Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Yeah, Truth to Reason. What do the Cavs think of Cam Johnson? Do you think they would trade for Cam at the trade deadline? They need a big forward. If they're going to deal with Boston, they need a big forward. Yeah, Truth to Reason. What do the Cavs think of Cam?
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Let's welcome in Chris Fedor, Cavs beat reporter, plain dealer, cleveland.com. The way they're playing, why would you mess with what you have going?
Well, to answer the question, Dave, the Cavs love Cam Johnson, and they've loved Cam Johnson for years. When he came into the NBA draft in 2019, the Cavs had 2 first-round picks at that point in time. They ended up with 3, but they were targeting Cam Johnson. They brought him in for a workout. They were hoping that he was going to be there late in the first round, and then he vaulted all the way into the lottery, way out of their draft range. So every time that any kind of conversation has come up about the potential availability of Cam Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets or the Phoenix Suns before that, the Cavs were involved and are going to be involved because he would fit really, really well. He spaces the floor. He knocks down threes. He's a low-maintenance player. He's a low-touch type player. But there are complications when it comes to this, obviously. The Cavs have used a lot of their trade assets already in the past to bring in Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen. And they just don't have a lot of quote-unquote expendable pieces that would be attractive to a team like the Brooklyn Nets. And if Brooklyn is going to move on from Cam Johnson, and I'm not saying that they're going to because he was one of the centerpieces of the Kevin Durant trade with the Phoenix Suns, but if they're going to move on from him, there is going to be a bidding war. There are going to be a number of teams that are lining up to try and get this kind of player because he does fit well in a potential 7-game series against the likes of the Knicks, the Bucks, the 76ers, the Boston Celtics, all of those kinds of teams because of the skill set that he brings to the table. And I just feel like given all the things that the Cavs have already given up in the past to make the blockbuster deal specifically for Donovan Mitchell, that if Cam Johnson becomes available, the Cavs aren't going to win that bidding war because they're just not going to have enough attractive pieces to beat out some of these other teams that are going to have the same willingness to deal with that caliber player. And to your point, Dave, this is a really good team. This is a championship level team. I think everything that we've seen from this team in the first 17 games points to that. And I just don't think they're in the kind of position where they're looking at a potential drastic shakeup at the trade deadline, unless something unforeseen happens with this roster with a significant injury or something along those lines. But they do love Cam Johnson, and they have been involved in Cam Johnson trade talks in the past.
Yeah, and you know, to your point, that they're trying to find minutes for guys. You know, it's always a good problem to have too many players as opposed to not having enough.